10 mistakes fans of animated movies completely missed. Animated movies are funny, beautiful, and touching, but they are not perfect. If you look a little deeper or think a little harder, you will notice that each movie is stocked with little mistakes. Sometimes there are continuity errors in which objects appear, disappear, or move out of nowhere. Other times there are factual errors in which previously confirmed ideas don't add up. If you have never noticed them, then after watching this video, you will look at your favorite animated movies from a new angle. But before you grab some popcorn and get ready for the show, make sure to hit the subscribe button. The Lion King. We don't want to admit that there's anything wrong with this Disney classic. We can't keep lying to ourselves though. If you pay closer attention to these frames of The Lion King, you will see that Simba's girlfriend, the graceful Nala, have a rich, bright green eye color. And here she is fighting an old friend. Her eyes suddenly turn blue. After a while they acquire a shape between green and blue. Turns out that The Lion King isn't the perfect movie. Aladdin. In the scene where Jafar is holding Jasmine captive, she attempts to convince the sorcerer that she is in fact under his spell, during which we can clearly see a gold bracelet on her right arm. After Jafar figures out that the princess is tricking him, he pushes her and that gold bracelet magically switches arms. It's easy to miss this detail as this scene gets a bit more intense. By the way, there is another nonsense scene in this classic, historically speaking. Princess Jasmine was too progressive to her culture. She refused to marry a man she didn't love and even dreamed of ruling the Arabic city. However, she was not only too open about her ideas, but also her appearance. In real world, her clothes would most likely look something like this, without exposed parts of the body or bare head. This is considered unacceptable in Arabic society to this day. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast gave viewers the animated tale of love, education, magic, and much more, including some shocking mistakes that you may not have noticed the first time you watched this classic. For example, in the big fight scene between Gaston and the Beast, the vain hunter attacks the transformed prince mercilessly, and right before his finishing blow, he screams.
It's over, beast! Hell is mine!
However, if you look closer, you will realize the dialogue does not match with the character lips. The actual line was, "It's over, beast, time to die." But Disney wanted to keep the movie appropriate for children and had it changed. Toy Story. We all agree that this is one of Pixar's best animated movies. But as the first feature-length computer-animated gem from the company, there are bound to be mistakes. For instance, there are about 5 different scenes where toys appear and disappear from the scene, or a character's spacing within a scene changes without notice. There are also situations where the action seems physically impossible. For instance, when Legs lowers Ducky down through the removed light bulb hole to ring the doorbell. The bulb fixture is bigger than the hole and the toys should not have been able to remove it the way they did. Moana. If you have seen this captivating animated movie, you probably remember the story of the fish hook. The object helped Maui to transform into animals. However, after getting the magical object from the huge Tamatoa crab, it started to behave somehow strangely. For example, in one scene, it first disappears from its owner's hand, then comes back. In another scene, the cracks on the hook and pattern looks quite different. Maybe the reason for that is not the mistake of the creators, but the divine origin of the artifact. Oh, by the way, when little Moana gets to know the ocean for the first time, there is also a mistake. Take a look. The princess leaves a chain of footprints in the sand. Then the angle changes and the footprints suddenly disappear. But the water obviously didn't have time to wash them off. Could that be a trick of Demigod of Water and Wind Maui? Frozen. Bloopers in this animation are not so easy to spot, but if you look very attentive to details, you can do it. For example, when the Snow Queen sings the hit song Let It Go, she loses her hair. Did you just see that? We will repeat this scene slower. The braid went right through her shoulders. In this other scene, the creators forgot about the laws of physics. Anna and Prince Hans dance, but their shadow seems to fly in the air. However, we all know that there was clearly a floor under their feet, no matter how much they were in love. Shrek. One of the major mistakes in this film is when Lord Farquaad, voiced by John Lithgow, plays matchmaker with his potential new wife. He has shown different options, and the first is Cinderella. But how could she be an option if she only became a princess when she got married? Hence, she would be unavailable. By the way, in the scene where Shrek picks up a wooden plate that stands near his house, we see that its left edge is broken off. But when the ogre returns the plate to its place, the damage is on the right side. We understand it's easy to get confused during a scene like that. How to Train Your Dragon. Here's another story about the mysterious disappearance of objects. There is a basket with a fish, and it's gone. Creators of this movie were probably hoping we would be only watching our favorite Toothless and not paying attention to details. But truth is, nothing escapes our attention. Tangled. This 2010 animated fantasy took 6 years to produce and an estimated cost of $260 million. But even the most expensive animated movies have its flaws. There are at least 2 continuity issues at the confrontation scene near the end of the movie. For example, when Eugene climbs Rapunzel's hair in order to save the girl and gets stabbed by Mother Gothel, when the witch removes the knife, there is no blood. Most likely Disney wanted to keep the movie PG and MPAA rated. However, in the same sequence, Eugene is dying, and while he and Rapunzel share a moment, he wipes the hair from her face. When he does that, the shackles around his wrists disappear. Well, they could have moved down as he lifts his hand up, but the shackles reappeared a scene later while his hands is in the same place, and we can clearly see it was tight enough. Despicable Me 3. The creators of this film should have been careful with the message they sent to children. For example, in the scene where the leader of the Minions, Gru, is flying in a bizarre car of his twin brother Drew. The main character clearly has his seatbelt fastened, which is necessary precaution. However, as the car makes a swarp maneuver, Gru is thrown out of the car and is hanging over the abyss. We wonder, how could this have happened? Hopefully, after seeing this, no one will think that buckling up in the car is useless exercise, whether you are in the front or back seat. Do you know any other mistakes that we missed? We would love to hear them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.